Right, there's that piece that I done. I'm gonna put some mono and stuff on it. There's still a couple of spots I need to weld up, first. Some of this gap here and here. But that's the way it came out. Check it out, man. It has a nice, that nice curvature to it right there, just like the other side. And this is the main area right here that we wanted to secure to be really strong, have that bumper cover on. Now we're gonna move on to this. You see I grinded it around. Grounded it down here, where up to where the canister stopped. And now I can cut it out. I'm gonna try to cut out just the skin real carefully. And then as soon as I cut it out, I'll be able to see the back and see what's wrong with that and cut out whatever is necessary and do the same kind of repair as the other side. Alright, you can see we cut out all that bad stuff right there. All the rest is good. There's that cancer. Now we got to make a piece that looks just like that, but new. Some that has that 90 and then it's a little rounded, little curved. And fill it in. Alright, here's that little piece that I'm making. I just want to show you guys how I do it. That yellow line right there is where I mark it, and that's where I want my bend to go. Plus, it needs to have a little dip in it this way, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm trying to say. It needs to be like rounded off. So what I do, I'll clamp the vise, and do like quarter at a time, bend it. Go on, on and so forth. Right now I'm right here at the end of it. Well, just going to show you. I knock it all down and get it to shape up. Now it actually has a little curve to it. You see? That's exactly what I'm looking for. That same piece of metal that I just cut out, that's what we want, that right there. And that inner side right there, we can always just trim later on. This is just so that the actual quarter skin will have something to butt against to and weld onto. That's that inner the inner fender wall. You can see how it's arched. I'm going to go ahead and dolly it a little bit better because that's not, you can see right here, it's not really too straight, so I'm just going to dolly that and go mock it up. See, now we're going to just mock it up. You can see where I'm going to be able to use it. Yep, looking good. So I got to trim it up and bend it a little bit this way, give it a curvature, lean the center out. Looking good. Alright, slapped it in. Got that nice bend to it under here. And give it some weld and grinded it off. All that's going to be primered and undercoated with texture, so whatever's showing, whatever little holes are going to they're going to be covered up with some of that texture. That undercoating rubberized shit, so it's good, man. Right, check it out. Got it all welded. I cut it pretty, it had a gap, you know what I mean, all the way around, so I had to take my time and just try to fill it in. You can see I cut it kind of screwed up here, so I gotta go out here and find me another little piece that I can, stick in there, just cut it out and zap it in. It's still not welded here, that's why I have the clamps on it to pull it in. But it did stay with that nice contour. There's no body line that goes like that. I was interrupted by a phone. Trying to eat my hamburger. Anyway, that's where we're at right there. I got to zap in a little piece and then weld underneath. But it looks good. You can see I got a cut right here and then go weld it in here and then later trim that piece off. That's just paint right there, you know, it's going to come off. And then I'll be able to trim that back piece real nice and even. That's what it's looking, man. Check it out. All hand frabbed right there in little sections. And then we're going to move on to that one. Alright, I just grinded all of it down. I got it all welded, you know, obviously, and grinded everything down. I'm going to go ahead and jump to this section up here. But that's where it came out, man. Check it out. Pretty cool. That's that nice contour right there. Everything's all solid and secure the way it's supposed to be. You know, that's what we want right there. You know, this lip right here, I'm going to hit up just a little bit here in a second. You know, knock that up so it has more of a curve to it. But that's a minor, you know, something minor. So it's coming out good. I gotta knock it up a little bit right here. And then we'll have a nice. Of how I remove the counters. I just get the grinder right and I grind out far away, maybe not far away, but you know, next to the counter just to see where it stops. You know, you can see the brown outline, you know, where the counter stops. Right here I'm going to put some sealer that turns the counter into a complete coral, seals it, and I'm just going to cut down, you know, I know where to come from. Take this whole section here, all the way down. And I'm going to remove that whole piece right now. Now I'm going to go down underneath. You know, I always try to remember not to go too deep because you don't want to cut all that other structure from behind, you know, and that's going to be a lot more welding than your part, you know. So I just want to cut the outer skin off And then what I could end up doing is getting the panel cutter and cutting all this edge right here really close, remove this whole center section, and then I could remove this lip glass, you know, with I got an impact air chisel, you know, or you could use a screwdriver, or, you know, just cut around the tacks, you know, the welds that it has, and with a panel cutter real carefully, and then just grind off the center section. But you know, there's several ways of doing it, you know, without disturbing the back structure. Alright, you can see, there we go, went like that. This is all the rusted edge. I just went ahead and trimmed along that edge there. You know, you can still see this rusty shit needs to come off of here. And we're going to clean up this back structure here. So, popped off real good. See, what you want to end up doing is taking off all that stuff without damaging the back. Show you what I was talking about with those valves. Just prying that the rest of that skin off. You can see how rusted out it is. A lot of times it just comes right off. They're not bending too much. Straighten it and dolly it later on. That sounds kind of funny because I got a particle mask on. You know, it's a good idea when you're doing stuff like this, your protection, you know, your eye protection, your respirators, particle masks. Don't get this shit up in your lungs because it's not good. That's what I was talking about. This strip needs to come off, and then we'll clean this real good. That way, when we put the other piece, we can actually tack onto it, you know, put a few tacks. Alright, what I did, I'm using this, piece of steel. I guess it's part of a shelf or some shit. Anyway, what I'm trying to do here is, get this angle and these dimensions on this side as close as possible. So, I eyeballed it, I put it on there, and then I kind of cut it, just to see if it's going to fit in there. And then I'll start bending it after I get that basic shape in there, where I think it's going to fit or it's workable. Then I'll start getting these contours and stuff shaped in it the way I want it. And the last step would be to bend this 90 all the way, and I'll know where to just slit it in order to bend the 90 that way. That's the piece that I'm gonna use for it, so check it out. What are you looking at? Oh, you want to learn how to do this shit? There's that piece. It had a 90 in it already. What I'm doing is taking it off, flattening it out, because once it's on there, I'll be able to fold it over, and make my own 90. And I have to trim quite a bit of it, so that's what I'm banging away for. Alright, I flattened it out. Now what I did, I just put it up against there. I started shaping it by hand, on my knee to where I want it. And Down here, I'm gonna have to cut it a little bit more. You know, I left enough room so I could have something to work with. But there's part of it. You know. That contour to it. You can see right here I need to trim a little bit more out of it. We're going to be able to do it. Yeah, I forgot but you gotta patch up that inner fender wall hole right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this piece of steel right here. And see if I can set this up. This piece of steel right here. Put it back there and then mark it out. Just like that. And I'm going to cut that out and zap it in. Alright, I cut that piece out. That's how little it came out. And go ahead and put it right here. See which way it goes. Zap it in. I'm going to cover that hole right there. Alright, this is all primered up. I'm going to go ahead and slap this piece that I made. You can see how I put those slits in it. That way I could bend that 90 in a minute. When it's welded on, that's going to fit in there like that. I got that contour that it's supposed to take right there at the bottom to it. And you know, it comes out a little bit this way and then around this way. There it is. I'm getting done. Alright, got it all zapped in there. I'm going to go ahead and grind it, clean it all up, put some mud on it. There's that other part where you put Bondo on it. And then gotta sand it. Came out good. Alright guys, check it out. We got a couple of coats of primer on this area here so we can hang the bumper. And we're gonna leave it primer for a while, and then as soon as he decides what color he wants to paint it, then we'll paint everything. But the parts really came out. Well, good. It's the second coat of Bondo. I'm gonna hit it now again, and should be the last coat. Right, got all the body work done. Finished it in 80 grit. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna hang the bumper cover back on it, and then mask it off and primer it. There's still some deep scratches here. I'm gonna hit it now with some 80 and 180.